What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're going to be checking out One-Shot Questers D&D interactive series. If you don't know who they are, they pretty much, or what D&D is, I'll explain. Give you a quick rundown. One-Shot Questers is a dude who makes a bunch of funny short D&D skits. I'll leave his channel in the description below. And D&D is pretty much just this fantasy role-playing game where you use dice to determine the success or failure of an action. I actually have one of these dice with me because I skipped through the boring part of this, which is the instructions saying you need a certain device, and also mentioned I need a D20. So I have that, and we're just gonna watch this today. Apparently, it's called a Dicemas Carol. Is this like the Christmas Carol? Anyway, we're gonna find out because I'm pretty sure we're reacting to this mainly because it's interactive, which means that at the end of the 26 minutes, a video is gonna play, and it's gonna pull two things up on the screen, and you have to click one of them based on a choice. I don't know why I need a D20. We'll find out.
Introducing first, the one who—
Oh yeah, we're introducing to the players. This is the main dude from One Shot Questers. And apparently this is Snarf, a goblin paladin. Yeah, I'm gonna introduce them all.
who throws at his back for our entertainment. It's Duke.
Yeah, I put on this because I put this down there just so that you could hear them. Cause I don't know if you can
Next, many know her as I Am
Gnome Rogue.
Wife. It's Amy. Next, without him there would be no Jakin. So give it up for Jakin.
Yeah, because something I should probably mention is that you build a character based on a race and a class. The Dragonborns, the top word is the race, the bottom word is the class. You might know what some of these are.
Next,
some of them are right now.
Introducing the—
I don't have time to explain them all.
new addition to the OSQ team, the ever-exciting Faye from Mendari. And now, introducing our Dungeon Master, the ever-so-fit and handsome Andrew!
I know this might not be the most entertaining thing, but I was curious. I saw it and I wanted to do it with everyone else. So
Andrew, begin our session and introduce this murder mystery to our players and audience.
Ebinezer was dead, to begin with.
Ebinezer Scrooge? How could they?
Your employer, Rose Bellator, briefly went over the history of Ebinezer Bellator, the uncle to her husband. He was a cold man in life, and seems like he wasn't able to find rest in the afterlife. She'll be holding a seance on Midwinter's Eve, the very night that he unfortunately died 3 years prior. In order for the seance to
he died 3 years ago.
work, she is gathering some of the very few people in his life that were important to him, or at least those that are related to those that were important to him. He didn't know too many people, so you know that the
he was pretty much a Grinch. He was a Scrooge.
The crowd is small. There was also some tense history between some of the members there, so she wants you to be there.
Yeah, the video quality is not the best. You can see with the
security to make sure that everything flows normally. The seance is to help Ebenezer's soul rest. At night, she hears chains dragging through the hallway, echoing all over
his business
manor. And it's especially active at Midwinter's Eve, and so she wants to make sure that his spirit is finally put to rest.
The chains was his business partner.
Especially since there'll be some big changes happening in her life soon, as she'll be having a baby within the next few months. She wants you to be very discreet about this because her husband, Adrian Bellator, is the governor of the city-state.
I thought Ebinezer was her wife, was her husband.
You all
it's been 3 years. Of course
are thinking about this contract as you are in this grand hall. You see all the people are already
by the way,
right there in the room.
This is only going to be a part one. Only part one because I can see this first section is 26 minutes.
Charlotte,
and that's the length of
she's
my recording time.
She is.
And I can only go to an hour.
She's an old lady. She's putting all the candles together. She has a crystal ball in the middle. She's getting everything ready there. You look down at the list that you have to see who's all supposed to be there, and you read over the names: Jacob Marley Jr., Adrian Bellator, which you know to be Rose's husband, and Belle Fezziwig. You look at Belle and you look at Winter, and you see that there's a bit of maybe an age discrepancy. Belle is supposed to be in her mid-60s, and Winter looks a lot younger than that. Rose walks up to you four, and says, "Thank you so much for coming, for being here. While Charlotte's getting ready, I might suggest each of you going and just talking to one of the one of the guests, getting to know them just a little bit. You might
I
notice
understand that makes
man
sense.
over there, and she gestures to a man who you don't recognize, and he's not on the guest list. That man over there, Dr. Vagrandis, he's there just to make sure that everything goes well with my pregnancy. So he's just concerned for all that. But if you want to talk to him as well, feel free to. But go and mingle, talk to.
If you want to see me play a D&D session, leave a like down below, and I'll try to make some friends to do
at least one of the people. Make sure everyone will get along well. Thank you so much. I'll go and speak to some other guests. And she walks away. And at this time, I suggest
I'm already lost. So
each of you go and talk to one of the guests. So you have.
All I know is that this guy's name is Snarf. That's all I got.
Dr. Vagrandis you can talk to, Jacob Marley Jr., Adrian Bellator, or
I think it's Dr. Vangridis, the doctor, Jacob Marley Jr., and Adrian Bellator.
Yeah.
And Bell Fezziwig.
Reach up. Hey, Rosamund.
Yeah.
Do you think she's single?
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Perfect. We should go and chat with her first.
Yeah, let's do it.
I would appreciate a great wingman.
I don't have them yet, but we're getting there.
Oh, he's a Dragonborn.
Solid, dude.
Yeah, dude. Let's go mingle.
So, are you approaching Belle?
100%.
And she notices as you approach. And yeah, she looks a lot younger than she's supposed to be. Like I said, Belle Fezziwig is in her 60s. She was a contemporary of Ebenezer's. She turns and she says, "Hello."
I don't know what a contemporary is.
How do you do?
Hello, I am Igneous Talc Magnetite.
Igneous Talc Magnetite?
It's lovely to meet you. Can I just call you Igneous?
Absolutely. Call me whatever you want to, good looking.
Roll up! Just straight charisma. We'll just see how she reacts to that.
The roll was 13.
She's gonna nod and smile.
If this lady had rolled a better roll than a 13 on her D20, this interaction might not.
She's also gonna look over at Brosephine as well, kind of giving you the inclination that she's flattered, but not interested. And she's gonna turn to Brosephine.
I'm confused. Is her character a girl or a boy?
And what is your name?
Yeah, I'm Brosephine. I got a question for you, if you don't mind me asking, of course.
What's the question?
What's the secret?
The secret?
Secret of what?
I'm trying to look this good at this age. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
You're looking good.
He wants to know if you use moisturizer or something, you know?
And what kind?
I'm assuming you think that Belle Fezziwig is supposed to be here. Of course, I am her daughter. I am Winter
that makes
Fezziwig.
sense.
Belle did not feel that she could come.
That's why she kept referring to her as Winter. That makes sense. I thought I was losing my mind.
Strained history. She felt like her presence there, emotional presence, might disrupt the seance, and so she sent me.
I have a minute left.
So you're saying that she thought that she would tick the seance stuff off or make them upset? Is there a reason behind that? I totally get family drama, okay? I ran away from home and, drama is the thing in my life right now. So I can totally appreciate maybe some awkwardness, but could you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Maybe
awkwardness in a family.
The words love scorned and betrayal might be the best words to suffice for
that
now.
Makes sense.
Of course. It's all in the
my
past.
Interpretation is that he stabbed her in the back.
I never was affected by it because it was before my time. So it was great to meet you both.
Lovely to meet you as well.
I wonder when I'm going to have to use my D20.
Nice little bow.
It's a nice red color if you didn't know. Actually, didn't.
She's going to give you a little nod and
she's going to run off.
Kind of take note, but again, she's just kind of going to turn and...
Hey, Brosephine, you think she's into me?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Just
what are you talking about?
Just checking in with my wingman.
Not yet. Almost.
Okay, that's right. Call you my rock man.
Yeah. Okay.
Snarf and Ursula, who would you guys like to go? You have 3 more people you can go and chat with.
I'll go talk to good old Jacob Marley.
Oh,
that's great, because I was gonna go head over to the doctor, so that works perfectly.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so as you go and put your full attention onto Jacob Marley Jr., you see he's a very tall man, a very lean, tall man with angular features, and he's about maybe 6 feet tall. Very attractive man, pale, He's got brown
I don't
hair.
need to know that, but okay.
Deep blue eyes.
Brown hair. Got it. Blue eyes.
Well, hello there. It's
those fundamental
great
stuff
to
that you're
meet
gonna
your
need.
acquaintance. My
I might
name
need
is
that.
Jacob Marley.
I am terrible at
Jr.,
remembering
at your
details,
service.
so I'm gonna end up forgetting all the
who might
details
you
we
be?
need.
Hello, my name is Snuff, and right here is Marshmallow.
That is.
Who's-
Oh, is that your rabbit? That is a lovely.
Who's holding a
name.
rabbit
Lovely
in
name.
this?
Yes,
That's
very
what
lovely name. Now, Jacob, if you don't mind
Marshmallow's
me
his rabbit.
asking,
His name is Snuff.
what was your relation with Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge, if you don't mind me
What
asking?
is his
I
relation?
personally never really had a relationship with him, but my father. They were business partners together.
How did your father
Oh.
view Mr. Ebenezer?
At the time,
I
he
knew
viewed him
I just
very,
didn't remember his name.
very well. They worked well together. They both had very similar ideas when it came to business and all that. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
that
And
makes sense.
what brings you here exactly, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my father, he's no longer with us. you
Oh,
see, so
sorry.
I'm here in his stead.
Oh, good on you. Good on you,
What's
did
he
you?
holding?
Now,
Is he
if
holding a
there's
spear?
anything that you may need, you may call Sir Snuff over, or if
Snuff,
I'm not
Sir
around,
Snuff.
just find Marshmallow. Marshmallow will come over and grab me.
Absolutely. I would imagine that Marshmallow might be a faster runner than you are, and he's gonna wink.
He's gonna walk away.
That's a little.
Okay.
Who told him that? You didn't tell him that, did you?
Talk to his hand.
Let's go.
So Ursula,
do
so
it
yeah,
again.
you approach the doctor. He's sitting
Yeah.
down.
What's up with the
He's got
doctor?
gaunt features. They're not
Gaunt.
sharp necessarily, not very angular, but they're long.
Long.
Everything seems to be very
And he
exaggerated.
has a Pinocchio
He looks
nose?
very stern. He looks very kept to himself.
That makes
And
sense.
you can see as you
He's a
approach
doctor.
that he's tensing
Sorry
up
if you're a
because he
doctor
doesn't
and that
really want
offends
to
you.
talk to anyone.
So she's going to walk up and be like, Dr. Fagrandis, is it? It's nice to see a
Fagrandis.
man of science in the vicinity. Hello, I'm Ursula. Ursula Delisle, you might have heard of me. And she
Ursula
puts her hand
Delisle.
out. Not as like a handshake, as like a, you'll take my hand.
Okay.
He's gonna look at your hand and he's gonna look at you and he's gonna say, Ursula, you said? Yes, of course. I've not heard of you, but also I'm not up to date on current culture, I guess. What is it that you are doing here?
Oh,
What
well,
is he
I've
doing?
just been invited to help observe the proceedings, make sure everything goes over swimmingly.
I had they were security.
And I
Oh, yeah.
wanted to talk to another intellectual about what your
About what?
perception of all of this is. And she kind of gestures to the to like the seance stuff.
Yeah.
I personally
What
believe
is
it
his
is
opinion?
unnecessary. Rose, for some reason, wants to put her and her baby's life in danger by doing this, but I'm
He's
here just
offensive.
to make sure that she's okay, and to make sure no one does anything that could hurt her or anyone else in this manner. So,
So is
Well, you seem
Ebenezer's wife
rather
another guy?
upset about something that, and
This is
she
a
kind
murder
of
mystery
lowers her
after
voice
all.
so
This is just
like
the
most
intro.
people don't hear. It's like that really is probably just a bunch of trivial nonsense. I'm sure that there's nothing that could go wrong here.
Yeah,
except
nothing could go
for
wrong in a torch
maybe some
seance.
lights, a little bit of a show that old Charlotte over there puts on, and then everyone goes home.
if Charlotte is who she says she is, there might be something that happens tonight. That's my fear. I'm not exactly sure how the dead would, in fact, interact with the living and the still growing.
Right, of course. So you're just here to monitor everything and make sure that nothing untoward happens.
Yeah,
Of
nothing
course.
weird
Of
happens.
course.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to continue to do so from the privacy and comfort of being far back from everyone.
Is he does he seem like he's telling me the truth?
I'm gonna have you make 2 quick rolls, especially since you're an investigator type.
I
I'm gonna
am.
I'm gonna have you make 2 rolls really quickly. One is gonna be for perception
Okay.
for that question. Another one is gonna be history as well.
Oh, okay. First one was perception.
Yes.
And that one was 17. And then you said history?
History, yes.
That's gonna be a 10.
Yeah, so he definitely seems to be somebody who gives you information when asked, and he won't tell you information unless prompted. So he is holding plenty back. he is there to protect the baby. That might not be the only reason he's there.
But it is like a genuine level of concern.
Yes, the genuine level of concern.
So he's actually concerned about the kid.
You don't know too much, but the name Vagrandis, it sounds familiar to you. It sounds like something that you've heard before, and for some reason, the name Timothy is associated with Vagrandis.
Timothy Vagrandis.
There's one more person that you guys could talk to, Adrian.
Let's rush him.
All of you.
We all get finished with our conversations, and then we all turn on a heel, and we're like, "Now's the time."
Yes.
As you all, rushed, kind of mob-like approach him, he's gonna kind of back up a little bit, and he's gonna say, "Well, it is great to meet you all. My name is Adrian. As you know, I'm the owner of the manor, and thank you so much for being here to help guard and protect everyone this evening."
Adrian, Ursula Delisle.
That's what we're doing here.
It's so nice. It's charmed to meet you in person.
Of course, the pleasure is mine. He's gonna take your hand. He's gonna.
Yes, good. Yes.
He's a gentleman.
Good. Yes. Good.
He's a gentleman.
I am Igneous Talc Magnetite. You have a fine establishment here, sir.
I truly appreciate.
Wait, I'm not him. I say thank you.
Homes like this. Are there any secret passageways? Because I think those
That's
are
a specific
phenomenal.
question.
He's gonna laugh, and you can tell he's joking about it, but he's gonna say, "If I told you, it wouldn't be a secret now, would it?" He's gonna.
That's actually quite fair.
Yes, of course.
But it's still a secret from someone. That phrase doesn't really get you out of anything. What just happened?
Master these spells. Leviosa.
That's different. We ever had like a combat?
Do not worry, we are here to protect you, and if anything goes wrong, you have us to count on.
Thank you so much. I feel much more relieved. And he's gonna turn to Rose and say,
I would, because it's a dragon born with a goblin.
They seem like fine folk, and she's gonna kind of laugh, and you can kind of notice that she's a little pale, a couple, beads of sweat here and there, but she'll smile and say, "Well, I learned how to hire good help from the best," and they're gonna kind of laugh with each other. And
the weird thing to bond over.
Yeah.
They're rich. They bond over.
We're all just standing there like.
We're like, cool, great. I too have money.
Why are we still laughing?
I don't know.
Of course. Of course.
About that moment, Charlotte is going to, she's going to have finished everything, and she's going to say, "All right, everyone, if I could have you all come and take your seats, those of you who have been invited into the circle, let's just begin." And you're going to see Adrian, Winter, and Jacob, along with Charlotte. They're all going to come to the table. Rose, before she starts to walk over, she's going to quickly say, I would like to have a word first, please. As many of you know, Ebinezer, he had a hard life. At the end of his days, he was a very lonely man, and I'm so grateful that you were all able to come here, participate in this seance to help to ease his spirit. And as she's talking, you're going to see she's kind of starting to sway a little dangerously.
Sway.
She continues talking. I really hope that we're able to have him rest, so that then his spirit can be free, and also so that we can live in our home with peace. And she starts to tip over. And as this happens, Adrian catches her before she's able to fall too much. And she kind of shakes her head. You also see Dr. Vagrandis rush over as quickly as he can. He grabs his cane and he's, going over. And you hear them discuss in very low tones. Rose wants the seance to happen. Dr. Vagrandis is very against it. Adrian decides finally to decide with his wife, but also he has Rose escorted to a different room as the seance happens, just in case. A servant goes and takes her into the nursery. Adrian goes and has a seat at the table, and
so Rose is in the nursery.
Dr.
Keep that in mind.
Walks back over to the chair where he was at, and he sits back down. So Charlotte has everyone sit down, and she says, "Now, before we get started, is there anyone who wishes not to participate?" And she's going to look around at the three participants. They're all going to kind of look at each other uneasily, but they're going to gesture that they want to proceed forward. And she says, "In that case, hold hands with those at either side of you. Do not let go. She's going to close her eyes. And as she does, you can see that she's going to tilt her head, sensing the presence of the room.
Okay.
And she's going to say,
"This is creepy.
I can feel the presence of the spirits strongly this night. The veil is thin here, weakened both by the turbulent spirits in this house and also the time of year. I implore you, we must be cautious. We should not break the circle for any reason until the seance is complete. If we do so, we could potentially tear a hole in this and the spirit realm. And
that's not good.
If we do not settle the spirits by midnight, that hole in between the realm could stay open forever. We would have to, if this were to happen, we'd have to settle the spirits before midnight. So let's just make sure that doesn't happen." She's going to open her eyes. She's going to look at every single one of them, kind of eyeing them, making sure they don't do it. They're going to nod in agreement. So she says, "Close your eyes and clear your mind." Yes.
What are you doing?
Something.
Is that a cat? Oh, it's a rabbit, right?
A strong presence here. Multiple presences.
Multiple?
Ebinezer Bellator, we wish to speak with you. As soon as she finishes saying that, the candle lights flare 3 feet high. And the crystal in the middle of the table begins to glow a bright, pale blue. And her eyes snap open. Light emanating, the same light, same color as
coming out of her eyes
on the table. And she begins to speak. And her voice sounds distorted, as if speaking with multiple voices. And she says, "Ebinezer Bellator's spirit is chained to this manor because his life was cut short before he could change his ways. And his life was not cut short purely by accident or by his own doing.
He was murdered.
Someone intentionally murdered Ebinezer Bellator. And the murderer is in this very room." And before she's able to say anything else, a gust of wind slams the door open, and an unhallowed chill rushes past you and blows the candle lights out.
So it's not Rosie today, because she's in the other room.
Rushes past the table, you see Charlotte let go and clutch her chest, and she falls to the ground. Does anyone want to do anything to try to stop that?
I will go right over to her.
Is this after she falls, or are you going to try to stop her from falling?
I can do my best to try to stop her from falling. Well, I'm a goblin. I say I will. Marshmallow, get down! I'm coming!
I'll run over and assist him.
I'm looking for if there was actually something that came through there, or if it was just a wind.
Okay.
Watching everybody else.
Okay, great. So Snarf and Brosephine, so you rush to her. I'm going to have you both roll a dexterity really quickly, just to see if you're able to.
That's a crispy 9.
Oh, no.
Freaking goblin paladin, roll a dex check, you jerk. That is an 18.
You two rush. Also, you see Dr. Vagrandis also got up and was rushing to her as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that makes
Snarf,
sense.
as you kind of help her gracefully to the ground, you notice a few things. She's very frail. You can tell she's just an old woman.
She's an old
everything
woman.
about her is pretty brittle. And also, when you kind of grabbed her, you did kind of feel her head got back, kind of jerked back a little bit. You were able to help, but you could feel that it was a pretty sharp jerk back of her head. Josephine, you get there as Snarf is helping her down. You also gently help her down as well. And by the time you rest her gently onto the stone floor, you see that Dr. Vagrandis, he's also there now, and he's on one knee. So he puts his 2 fingers onto her neck to check her pulse.
Is she alive?
And he also places a hand on her palm as well. And he continues to do that a few times, just checking to see. So Ursula, you don't see anyone there. If you wanted to try to guess if it was something more than human, if it was other human, like otherworldly, you could roll an Arcana check.
That's a dirty 20 for Arcana. My character is stacked for investigation.
Fantastic. So you feel the air, and you can tell it was a dark magic that made that burst into it. But made it burst. You're not sure if it was her that caused it, or if somebody else caused it.
Okay.
And Igneous, you see, so Dr. Vagrandis is checking on her. The other 2 stand up as well, but the other three, they rush over to see how things are, but they also keep their distance because they don't want to get in the way, especially since there are already 3 people near the body.
Are they all looking at the body, or is there one or two of them that have looked and now are looking in other places?
So they're all, most of their attention is on the body. However, you do notice Adrian is kind of looking similar to Ursula. He's also looking out of the open door, kind of trying to figure out where that came from, maybe. But most of his attention is focused on Charlotte. As this all happens, as you're
Charlotte's a Science lady.
Especially, you have the best hold on her. You feel her breath shakily come in, come out. A weaker breath.
No.
And then no.
No. What's happening?
No, don't go.
Dr. Vigrandis is once again going to put his fingers on her pulse.
She's gonna die.
Then
Is she
kind of
gonna
gently
die?
put a few fingers on your shoulder and say, "It is not worth the effort. She's gone."
No. Not
And
Charlotte.
as he says this, a light is going to emit from above the crystal. A brilliant blue light.
What light?
Begin to peak. And then you're going to see a tear forms between this world and the spirit world. And as this happens, you hear from all around the manor, you hear windows and doors slam shut. Dr. Vigrandis is going to look around and is going to look at Adrian. And Adrian's going to look around and
what have they done?
It appears that the warning is correct. The spirit world has breached ours, and we have until midnight.
What time is it?
The killer of Ebinezer Bellator. I'll just let you guys know where everyone is going, and then you guys can decide who you'd like to pair up with and who you would like to go with. So Adrian, after he says this, he says that he wants to go check on Rose, make sure she's okay. So he's going to be in the nursery. Winter Fezziwig says that she's going to go and check in Ebinezer Bellator's chambers. She wants to go and check his place because she thinks there might be some good clues there. Jacob Marley Jr. is going to go to the library.
Jacob's in the library
with the manor, and he wants to go and see if there's any information that he can gather in the library. And you're going to watch Dr. Vigrandis is going to pull a syringe from his person, and he's going to draw a sample of blood from Charlotte, and he's going to go to the apothecary
to investigate
he wants to run some samples. Says that she seems to have died suddenly, so he's going to go to the apothecary and see if there's any suspicious activity going on there. So
okay, that makes sense.
Those are the 4 places you could go to: the apothecary, Ebenezer's chambers, the library, or the nursery.
Okay.
I want to follow Winter. That's where I want to go. I don't know if we're pairing off with each other or what.
Yes, Igneous is gonna go and check out Winter.
Good. Okay.
My man.
I'm here for
Gotta like pull his collar back.
Snarf and Brosephine, where would you like to go?
Rose was in the nursery, correct?
Yes, yeah. Rose and Adrian will both be in the nursery.
Brosephine, we need to go check on Rose.
You know, I agree.
That makes sense.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. So, now it's...
So this is where the choice is made. Give me a second. So right now, I have to choose between going to the nursery with Snarf and Brosephus, or to Ebenezer's study with Ursula and Ignace. So it's either nursery to check in on the wife, the parents, Ruby, or Ebenezer's study to go with Winter. I think right now my suspicion is more on the father, so I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to go follow Snarf and Brosephine.
So you decided to join Snarf and Brosephine to the nursery. As Snarf and Brosephine approach the door, they can hear a heated discussion. You'll hear Rose kind of say things along the line of, "I want to help, please.
If you want me to go back and do the other side, I will.
Let me..." And Adrian's going to say, "No.
Unless, of course, it just forces me into it at the end.
You need to be safe. We don't know. We fought so hard to have this baby. We cannot risk it." Do you guys want to continue trying to listen?
So it seems like I forgot his name. Because it's been like 30 minutes. Albius's name is getting to Rose.
Neither am I. Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you both to roll a stealth.
Oh no.
Oh crap.
Oh no, bro.
8.
4.
So you guys try to.
I got a 6.
You're sneaking up, but as you do, Snarf clomps onto the tile in the hallway a little bit too loudly, and it echoes, and the speaking stops suddenly. And as you walk in, so you see Rose is sitting. She's propped up against the headrest, but you can also see she is not doing well. She's very pale.
Ooh.
And you see Adrian,
Oh,
he's got the chair really close to her.
Adrian.
And as you walk in, he looks at you and he says, I understand.
Adrian and Rose are just debating about whether keeping Rose safe. They both. Adrian wants to keep the baby safe, which means until keeping Rose safe.
Look at the nursery
kept
to see if there's
safe
anything
so
here that you can learn. I'm not sure how much you can gather from the nursery, only because Ebenezer didn't really spend much time here before.
I resigned like it up here because I wanted to check out Rose, and I was a little
I know a lot about my
because he was the only one that went earlier. He was the only one that looked at the window. Everyone else was focused on her, on Charlotte, the one that her Charlotte's death. Adrian was the only one who looked at the wall, at the window.
Obviously,
so
and I'm
suspicious.
more than willing to answer any questions you have, but also feel free to look around. I will do all that I can to not disturb you. Just please, I ask you. Rose is trying to rest, so please keep your voices low. So I'll tell you the places of interest that are in here. As you look around, you see, so the desk over on the far right, you can see that there's some interesting information there.
Why is it?
You also
see
the
nursery?
The table that's close to the bed might hold some interesting information there too. And then
the table next to the bed,
at the foot of the bed, looks like there might be some key information. There's also something kind of itching at the back of your mind about the toys, kind of in that corner.
Adrian, how close were you to Ebinezer? Did you ever have a good presence with him? Did you ever feel his presence?
He was a very cold man. He was very logical. He did not believe in concepts like love and merriment.
So this is happening. So Ebinezer apparently died before the ghosts came to him, because this is going off of what I think to be the Christmas Carol story. But in this storyline, Ebinezer died by the murderer before the ghost could come, a Christmas past, present, and future, to help fix his life. So he died a lonely man, broken. That's a good thing to know. That might be important.
Very focused on,
if they're going off the same storyline,
the world. So he did not have a good relationship with anyone before he passed, including myself and my wife. He criticized our relationship and some of our choices.
I'm sorry you had to go through that, but
wait, is Adrian his son? Is he the son? Is he Ebenezer's son? Or is Rose the daughter? I don't really know.
When the whole
my inclination is that Rose
thing happened,
Ebenezer's old wife,
the whooshing and coldness came in. Did you feel possibly your uncle points you in a direction where the murderer could be, or any clues that we could?
What did you see?
Trying to give us?
All I know is that it could be anyone who was in the room at the time.
But the thing is, we know it's not Charlotte because she's dead, and we know it's not Rose because she wasn't in the room.
Strangers,
or it could have been Rose. She's just trying to mess with our heads. She could have started slaying down so she'd get removed, and then she could use some kind of like dark kind of magic to give them the fake information that Ebenezer was murdered by someone else.
I'm assuming would not be the case, but also it limits all of the suspects to Jacob, Marley Jr., Winter, Fezziwig, I guess Dr. Fagrandus, and
Winter,
myself.
And the doctor.
Do you mind if I look at he's at the desk in the far corner?
Of course, please, by all means. Look at anything you want in the room.
Yeah, it's on the shelf.
Is Josephine still canon that he can't read?
Yeah.
Oh, what a grab! I'm gonna go up to the desk.
So at the desk, it's a journal. It's an older journal, very, very worn. You look around for other things, but you see within the drawers an old journal of roses.
Oh, roses.
And it looks to be fairly old.
I'll open to see if there's anything
old
interesting.
Journal roses.
her thoughts of Ebinezer or anything that just may really stick out?
As you read it, it's a story of a woman who has tried to have a baby for a long time. You see that they've been married for nearly a decade. They've been trying to have a baby this whole time, and it's been unsuccessful. And they've talked to many doctors, and it hasn't been successful. And then finally, she mentions that she doesn't say exactly what it is, but she mentions a vague solution of some kind.
What solution?
That she's found, that she seems to have mixed feelings about, but also is incredibly expensive, and they cannot afford. And she is just heartbroken, and you can see as it gets further on, she is angry. Closer to the end of the journal, there's a page that's been ripped out. And then behind where that page would have been reads, "I can have a baby. A good doctor will help us. Yet, I'm not sure if this is a blessing from the gods or from some darker source."
What?
Adrian, who's the doctor that helped you to be able to finally be able to start a family? Who is this doctor?
What is that? Was it the doctor?
Dr. Vagrandis.
God! I'm gonna call it right now. Ebenezer. This is a story about Ebinezer. Ebinezer and Rose were married for nearly a decade. Couldn't have a daughter or kid, so and the only man that was expensive. He didn't want to do it, so Rose left, went to Aiden, and then they got married. Tried again a little bit, and it failed. And then they went to Dr. Agreas.
He's living with us now to make sure that the pregnancies
or maybe
going well.
Maybe this is a story about Rose.
I'm gonna go over to Brosephine and whisper in his ear everything that I read.
Now you see, so like what happened is they've been trying to have a baby for a very long time, but now it just never worked. But now they found the doctor who is spirit baby, just like the Bible, but not like the Bible and the Bible. Anyway, but anyway, the doctor is Dr. Vergrandis and
Vergrandis.
Ayo. Now you caught up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Few questions. How did you be able to afford this treatment? And do tell, how does it work?
I'm gonna have you roll a persuasion.
Can I aid him in some way?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, just be like, yeah, what he said. Spirit babies.
That's an 18.
He's going. You can tell that the first question especially made him very uncomfortable, and he's going to say, as you might have gathered, we could not afford the baby ourselves, and in fact, by the time a solution was presented to us,
so it was Aiden and Rose in the story.
We were in a great deal of debt already.
Of course.
And Ebenezer passed, and his will was. We were the sole benefiters of.
You
the
gained
will.
all of his money,
we were the last of his family. He does not have any legitimate kin, and so we were able to afford.
You used
this procedure,
your inheritance, to get the
through
kid,
the help
the treatment
of Ebenezer, and I know how it looks.
It does look
a coincidence. I still feel uncomfortable about the whole thing because he never really. We tried to get money from him in the past, and he, especially when it came to his thoughts of love, he felt it was not a very good idea. And the procedure itself, to answer your second question, I do not know the specifics.
May I touch your tummy?
What? You asked that?
Look over his wife a little bit.
I'm gonna go up to Rose. I'm gonna be like, don't worry, it's okay. I'm gonna cast heroism on her so she's imbued with bravery. Yes.
Rose is asleep at this point. Her strength is kind of failing her.
Oh, passed out.
So you were asking Rose if you could touch her belly.
Yeah.
I thought that it was touching Adrian's belly. That's how I was really.
Why would you ask
Roses?
Yeah, sorry. I probably should have clarified. At this point in time, she got her head on his.
The journal, I thought it was a journal full of roses, not Rose's journal. Why would you ask?
Roses.
Yeah, sorry, I probably should have clarified. At this point in time, she's got her head on his chest. She's kind of cuddling to him. He's got his arm around her, and he's kind of got his head on hers. So like,
oh no.
In that case, I go up to Adrian and cast heroism on him and be like, "Don't worry, it's for science purposes. It's for your security."
That was the fault of the DM. Yeah, she's asleep at this point. Josephine, do you want to talk to her?
I would like to touch that belly.
Her belly.
Her belly.
Adrian's gonna.
This is so funny.
And he's gonna kind of. Hello, man. I've just met. Can I touch your stomach?
Please.
It's for science. He's gonna kind of nudge her a little bit, and she's gonna kind of blearily wake up, and he's gonna whisper something in her ear along lines of I guess you would love to feel the kick of your child. Would you be okay with that? And she's gonna nod, and she's gonna kind of look at you. Sleep is in her eyes, but she's gonna kind of pull the covers back a little bit.
What are you doing?
That's the last thing she sees as she closes her eyes.
Josephine pulls out a napkin and goes, "I'm gonna touch your belly." So Josephine is gonna put his hand, and you don't know if there's supposed to be a lot of movement, if there's supposed to be an actual kick or something, but it's not impressive to you. Nothing is impressive. Like nothing really is super exciting to you from this.
Yeah, there's a lot of science going on in there. Do you guys mind if I talk with Snarf in the corner over there real quick?
I was just trying to keep it brief. The baby.
I believe the others will want to get to the main hall fairly soon. Meet you there.
Yes, of course.
Sure. So I have this whole theory, but you go search and I'll go look at the toys.
Yeah, you know what? Marshmallow loves toys. Take him with you.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I'm
gonna go search the bookshelf now.
So Snarf, as you search the bookshelf, you go in and you see it's an old photograph, and it's a photograph of a young Ebinezer with a young who you seem to be Belle Fezziwig, as she has a striking resemblance to Winter. They're standing next to each other, and you also see three other people, two people behind them who look kind of older, and then you see somebody who looks very similar to Jacob Marley Jr., who you assume it's Jacob Marley Sr. It reads on the back, it reads, "Simpler days, better days,
simple days
before the love was lost." In the background of this picture, it looks like a trading post. And actually, you recognize this trading post. It looks like the Crossroads trading post, which in the city is the biggest trading post within the city. And you also know that it's owned by the Marley family. Currently, actually, Jacob Marley Jr. is the owner.
I'm going to keep that in mind. And I feel like this may be a better question to ask Jacob Marley.
So I will say, Adrian did see that you...
He didn't. I had my back towards him. He didn't see a thing.
Do you want to try to do a stealth or a sneak or something?
Oh, no, there's no way.
Okay.
Absolutely no way.
So he does notice, and he he says that picture is one that brought Ebenezer both joy and a lot of bitterness in his life. There's a tragic story. If you would like to,
I don't want to hear the story.
Yes, please.
So he tells you in a very gripping manner. So Ebenezer, you learn that Ebenezer got his start in finance, working with the Fezziwig family. He was their financial advisor at the this Crossroads trading post back when the Fezziwigs owned it. Also, while he was working there, he fell in love with his employer's daughter, Fezziwig. However, Ebenezer wanted to make a name for himself, and so after a few years working with the Fezziwigs, he left and joined forces with Jacob Marley. But he also still, the love between him and Belle still continued to grow strong. And they always talked about the idea of marriage, but Ebenezer was the one that kind of was reluctant to do it because he never felt he was in a good position to do so. However, soon, because of the way that things were going with him, Ebenezer started to become colder and colder and colder. And so Belle left him for a few different reasons. And it's hinted at that, she might not have only been thinking about herself at that moment. And because of this, Marley, eventually after a few years, is able to convince Ebenezer to trick the Fezziwigs into investing in some bad deals, Mr. Fezziwig especially, and he loses the business, and Jacob Marley ends up owning the Crossroads. The Fezziwigs became destitute. Belle was able to find work.
So the Fezziwigs owned it first, and then Jacob Marley took control.
Eventually owning the theater, and that's where Winter works as well. She's an actress. So that's what you remember all this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Snarf and Brosephine, you both hear something odd, a whisper, almost.
What?
And you look, and you turn to a toy block, and it looks intriguing, like some otherworldly thing is beckoning to you. So you have two choices. You can either go to the block, investigate, see if there is something otherworldly, or you can leave the room because you're not exactly sure what the spirits are going to be doing this night.
Oh, it's a choice for me.
The audience have that same choice. So what do? Do you go and investigate this?
Return to the main hall or investigate the toy. They're not that long, so I have time. So I'm going to investigate the toys.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm gonna cast the heroism on you and immune you with bravery.
I'm brave.
Yeah.
I can do this.
You can do it. Send it.
I'm gonna send it.
So. And he sends it to his death. No. So Brosephine walks over, and you feel compelled to pick this cube up. And as you do so, as you pick the cube up, you see this little girl just appear in front of you, and a cold wind chills you to the bone and in the pit of your stomach. And I would like you both, and you as well,
make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. So I was curious how they're going to do this. So I'm going to roll the D12, and if I get a 1 to 5, I'm going to click this one. If I get a 6 to 11, I'm going to click this one. And if I get a 12 up, I'm going to click this one. Okay? I got a 13. So I got a 12 plus Constitution. Barely. So I'm going to go here.
16.
Brosephine.
Yeah.
So the room around you shifts, and shadows change, and things morph. You see a translucent sheen around the room. You see the little girl point behind you and say, "Look, behind you. I will show you the past." You see Rose, a translucent version of Rose, sitting on the floor, sobbing, her knees clutched to her chest. As she continues to sob, you hear a knock on the door, and Adrian walks in. He walks up to her, and he goes down on one knee, and he says, "Rose, Ebenezer's dead." Her sobs stop.
This is 2
she
years
looks
ago.
up at him with puffy red eyes, and she says, "Does that mean?" And he's gonna nod gravely. She's gonna look down. Should I feel shame for being excited about this? And Adrian gently and comfortingly is going to put a hand on her shoulder, and he's going to say, "No, because you're not happy that he's died. The joy you have is because of new life that is found." I think that is something worth being excited about. We can finally afford the help that Dr. Vigorandus can give us. Rose closes her eyes and says, "Is he the only one that we can turn to?" Gravely, Adrian is going to nod and say, "I'm afraid so." As the vision fades, the last words that echo in the room and in your mind is,
"What is there?"
"For the baby."
The baby?
Okay.
What?
And you make your way to the hall.
Huh? Guess we're going back to the main hall. Choice, and I don't really actually. Oof. I'm gonna just let it. Skip this, but we're not gonna see this because I don't have enough time. So, if you want to come back and see part 2 of this, please subscribe to my channel. Leave a like down below because I'm honestly kind of curious about how long this is gonna be. Because we're gonna finish this, and I might go back a second time and do their section. I'm not going to replay everything, but I might go back and just see how this one thing gives us new information that could help. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I certainly did. So I'll see you then.